Hi, my name's Marcus Friend, and these are Friendly Stories. Today's story brought to you from the roof of my apartment building here in LA because, I don't know, frankly, I came up here to clear my head, but I don't know, I had like one of those moments where like I wondered why I do this. I think really I can accredit it back to a really good friend that I had in high school. We're gonna call him Todd, because I can't think of a better fake name. But Todd was the guy that got me to really actually start scaling buildings. Dashing young British man from a boarding school that just happened to go to my high school. And me being the fat American that I was, well, let's just say it was fun for him to teach me how to free run, because for me, free running was actually more free flopping. Like, I just could not keep pace with this kid. I'm just gonna preface this with, in high school, I was actually not that depressed of a kid. I didn't have it together by any means. I listened to My Chemical Romance and Dashboard Confessional and was like, this, they get me. They understand me. And if it hadn't been for my parents, I probably would have dyed my hair black and had a blue streak through it. Thankfully, they didn't let me turn my entire wardrobe into nothing but skulls and angels. What was funny was because of that, because they didn't let me follow the trend that was so heavy in my high school, the emo trend, I actually kind of became like this anti-establishment kid. I dyed my hair bleach white. Like the lead singer of Linkin Park, my hair was bleach white, which my mom was okay with for some reason. Linkin Park was actually, quite frankly, they were my jam. And I remember getting into this really heated discussion with this kid. We were in biology, because no one actually paid attention in honors biology. Like, there would be a lecture and we would take notes, but we'd study when we got home. We didn't hear a word that teacher said. Just boring class. And so we're getting into a discussion, or rather a really heated argument about who's the more hardcore fan, me and this kid, but we're in class and we're whispering. I'm sorry. I'm just realizing how stupid this sounds. And I'm like, I bet you don't even know the lead singer's name. And he's like, the lead singer's name is Chester. And I'm like, dang it, he's got me. And so in order to like prove to this kid that I knew my Linkin Park, I grabbed a piece of paper and I started writing down the lyrics to the first song that came to mind, and it was Numb by Linkin Park. So I wrote down every lyric verbatim. I even put like hash marks underneath the words to show when he would growl it or when he would scream it, because I wanted to prove to this kid that I knew Linkin Park. I knew my Linkin Park. He, of course, doesn't even look at the notes after I've taken all this time, and he had been taking bio notes the whole time, so I'm all frustrated when class lets out, and we pack up and go and leave. 3 days later, I get pulled into the school counselor's office, and I'm like really nervous because I got pulled out of English class. The school counselor is sitting across from me, and she's got this really concerned look on her face. And she's like, Marcus, how are you feeling? I'm great. I'm good. Marcus, is there anything that you want to talk to me about? I'm good. I'm great. And then she pulls out the lyrics. She pulls out these Linkin Park lyrics that I had left behind in bio class because I was so disgusted with them I didn't pack them up. And for those of you who don't know, Linkin Park, the song Numb, that's not the most uplifting lyrics on the planet. But what she thought that these were my words. She thought that I had written poetry. So she's sitting here with these lyrics, and I have to explain to her that these aren't my lyrics. This is not my poem. I am not this skilled of a writer. And she goes, okay, well, Marcus, I really want you to find more positive influences in your life. I want you to be happy. I want you to, I'm like, well, I'm in drama club. I'm in softball, varsity softball. So a couple weeks go by. Todd gives me a call, and he gives me a call mid-session of me dyeing my hair. I should probably explain that. I was dyeing my hair brown. I was dyeing it dark brown because for the school play that I was in, I was playing this Russian, this lead who had long, dark hair. I don't know about you, but in the 1980s, there weren't that many Russian guys with bleach white hair. So we're dyeing it dark brown. I get a call from Todd. Todd tells me that he's actually found a way onto this huge abandoned apartment complex. He found a way onto the roof, and he wants to show me. He wants to see if I can keep pace, and I am so excited. I am so down. I tell him, I ask Mom how fast we can do this, if we can hurry up. She's like rinsing out my hair as fast as possible, even though we had to let it sit in. And Todd meets up with me, and he takes me to this abandoned complex that we had tried to climb before, but never gotten to the top of. And the reason for that is the building was so dilapidated, it was so torn apart that monkeys were living inside of it, and the stairs were falling apart or just not there sometimes. All the metal framing had either been torn out or the really big pieces of rebar were sticking out. It was just not a safe place for kids. In order to get to the very top, we actually had to hop balconies. We had to hop from one section of these 2-tower apartment buildings from one section to the other balcony. And Todd shows me a new free-running move. It's called a 180 vault. Now, for those of you who don't know, a vault is you run to a ledge, you jump, you throw your legs to the side, you put your hand out, you grab the ledge, and you pull yourself over. It's a really smooth, really fluid move. It helps you maintain momentum. I could not do that, and we did not need to do that because we weren't sure what our landing was like on the other side. So Todd shows me what's called a 180 vault. A 180 vault is the same premise as a vault, but what you do is instead of running, reaching out, grabbing the ledge, and jumping, you run, you turn your hand upside down. So instead of your fingers facing up, they're facing down, and you let your hand hit the edge with your palm. And what this does is it spins you around. So now you can grab the ledge with both hands, and you can catch yourself with your feet, and now you've still got momentum, but you can look behind you, and you can kind of give yourself a hop backwards. Really cool move. Really helps you stay in control of where you're at. And then we get to that ledge where we have to jump between them, and he does a 180 vault, and I do a 180 vault. The ledge we're jumping off of is like cement, and it's been torn apart, and it's been eroded by the rain. I grab the ledge, I look down, and I jump, and as I jump, and I slap my hand down on the ground, because I made it to their balcony. I slap my hand down, and these red droplets hit the ground where I slapped. And I look at my arm, and I'm bleeding. I was actually bleeding pretty bad. Because what had happened is when I did the 180 vault, my arm had scraped across the ledge, and it was so rough that it just tore it looked like someone took a cheese grater to my arm. And so, me being scraped and bruised and out of breath, we climbed to the top. And, sorry, I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if it was the hair dye, or if it was the blood loss. But there was something about that view. There was just something about looking over that town, because like the city was in the background in Kuala Lumpur, but what we were looking at was jungle with spots of village. And the sun was setting. It was just beautiful. I had never seen anything like that before. I mean, I'd been on top of tall buildings before. I'd been on skyscrapers. I'd gone to all the tourist spots. I'd actually stood on the Great Wall at one point. But there was something about standing next to my best friend after climbing this building, knowing we were somewhere that probably not that many other people had been. I just felt invincible. I've always tried to harken back to that. That's why I'm on this roof right now. Being in places like this just. Anyways, sorry guys. Anyways, so we had made it to the top. We start climbing down, and as we're climbing down, Todd actually slips, and Todd slips, and I have to catch him. But as I catch him, I get drug across another windowsill. So now on my right hand, I've got cuts going sideways on my wrist, and on my left hand, I've got this amazingly intricate, deep series of cuts going straight down my arm to my elbow. And we get to the bottom, and I am soaked in blood. And Todd apologizes, but we get home, and my mom is just not happy. She cleans out the wounds with alcohol. Thank goodness for mothers. For not letting me dye my hair black, for not letting me change my whole wardrobe into nothing but skulls, and for cleaning my wounds, because I have both my arms today so that I can stand here in this stupid pose. You guys can't see it, but I'm standing with my arms wide open, looking over LA, and I feel like a king. And I have both arms to do it, so thank you, Mom. Anyways, so no more than a day and a half later, I am going home from school after a play rehearsal. Now, I walk into the bus, and the school counselor grabs my backpack and whips me around, grabs my wrists, and has this horrified look on her face. And she goes, Marcus, I thought we talked about this. And I'm just looking at her, and then I realize that my hair is dark brown, that I am wearing a black undershirt with a skull on it, that my wrists are sliced to hell, and that I am wearing runny eyeliner because I didn't manage to wash my stage makeup off. It was funny. It's the irony of that situation to me is this, that less than 2 days, 3 days later, after what had possibly been one of the best experiences of my life, there was someone who thought I was going through the worst time of my life. So, I don't know. I guess the moral of this story is just know who you are. Just be who you are. Don't prove it to anyone else. And I guess that's it. So, my name's Marcus Friend, and this has been a friendly story. Catch you guys next time.